Hope everybody is enjoying our course. We are 1/3 of the way through. In this week 5 wrap-up video, I would like to just kind of touch upon where the two different discussion boards went this week, because there were some really good conversations going on, and I think that they kind of intersect at a certain point. On one of the discussion boards, the conversation this week was very much a continuation of last week's discussion, where there was a lot of frustration being expressed about parents not bringing their children to church, or that parents not really having an overall concern for the spiritual development of their children. Basically thinking, hey, I send them to a Catholic school, that's all I can do, or I'm doing the best I can. I was reminded of a baptism class I had to go to when my son was being baptized, and somebody asked a question that kind of went this way. How do you expect, how does the church expect us to fit Sunday Mass into everything else we need to do on the weekends? And the young couple teaching the class, the husband, gave a great response. He said, we have 4 children, and we would never allow them to miss a basketball game, a baseball game, a soccer game, a dance recital, a music lesson, an art class. We would never allow them to miss any of those things because the weekend was too busy. To us as a family, Mass is in that category. And I think that really sums it up, that unfortunately, many families don't necessarily see Mass as one of the most important things for them to do on the weekends. They don't put it in the category of the other things their children have to do. So how can we start to help them see it that way? And there are a lot of different things we can do, and there are a lot of things that you guys were talking about on the discussion board that were just awesome. So I just want to kind of touch upon some of those ideas that you guys threw out there, just because discussion boards, you guys can't see what each other is talking about. So a couple people mentioned inviting parents to school masses. That's awesome. That's a great thing to do. If you have the room, if you have the space, invite parents. Make it like a parent social or something like that. I think you might be surprised how many parents are willing to show up if they feel as if it's something they should show up to. Another thing you can do is invite parents to a faith evening. Maybe something that isn't a Mass. Invite them to something with a speaker. Maybe one of your religion teachers. Maybe the priest who's part of your school speaks, and maybe have the choir perform or the band perform. A couple of religious songs. Do something different like that. Maybe you could invite parents to a curriculum night. Where in one night, in 1 hour period, they're kind of given a blow-by-blow of what their student's going to learn in religion class over the next 6 months. Maybe they would be a little bit more interested in what their student was learning if they actually knew what their student was learning. A couple people mentioned some great ideas about tying in the parish, which if you're a parish school is awesome. Someone mentioned that their school choir performs at Mass once a month. That's such a great idea on so many levels. One is it kind of shows off the school to the community, which does well with student population, and it also kind of attracts parents to go to Mass. Another was to give awards out, at Mass or after Mass, where, if you have your student of the month or your honor roll or whatever it is, have that given out at Mass. Again, this does so much good. One is it ties the school to the Mass, to the Eucharist, which is really important. And another is it kind of drives up Mass attendance. If we can get people in the pews, then there's a good chance they'll stay. Step 1 is getting them in. Step 2 is getting them to stay. Another thing that was brought up on the discussion board was the idea of engaging the students. One of the things that I think we're starting to see or realize is that students can be a major factor in getting their parents to go to Mass, in particular at a middle school or a high school level. We have a number of students in my school who will tell us that their parents aren't going back to Mass because the student wanted to go. If we can ignite a faith within students, we can ignite a faith within a family. One of the things that we kind of have to play to, though, is this generation. What does this generation crave? And one of the things that this generation really craves are big events. A lot of you guys talked about retreats. Retreats are awesome. If you can get your students either in small groups or large groups to go on retreat, you can really spark something in a student. And if that spark is good enough. It'll make them want to go to church. It'll make them want to partake in their parish life, and that will hopefully make their parents want to participate also. A number of people mentioned some kind of youth rallies where there was rosary rallies and pro-life rallies. Again, events where students engage with other students, in particular if it's students outside of their school, if it's a diocesan-wide event or if it's a county-wide event or an event linked with a couple different parishes. Starting to engage in the larger church, in the universal church, can really ignite something in students. And then probably the ultimate of that is World Youth Day. World Youth Day, we've sent groups to the past 3 or 4 World Youth Days, both teachers and students, and I mean, they literally come back on fire, both teachers and students. So any chance that students have to partake in something bigger than themselves, it really kind of ignites a flame in them, really ignites a fire of faith in them, which can translate back to the family. Another thing that was mentioned often was service. Students really buy into service. This generation is often criticized for being materialistic, which I think is unfair. It's not that this generation is materialistic, it's that they desire tangible things. And service plays right into that. Service gives them a tangible outcome. At the end of the day, they can point to a cafeteria of homeless people and say, I served them soup. They can point to some sort of Habitat for Humanity project and say, I built that house. It provides them that tangible outcome. And once you start to align service with faith, again, that really begins to ignite a passion in young people that can translate back to their families. Great work this week. I really enjoyed reading both discussion boards. Unbelievable ideas going back and forth. And I love that people are commenting that they're going to steal ideas, because that's 100% what this program is about. This program is 100% about robbing people. No, I'm kidding. This program is 100% about sharing best in practice ideas and then bringing them back to our own schools and finding ways to make them work, because good ideas work anywhere. Have a great week. Good luck with week 6, and keep in mind that the midterm is on the horizon. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Have a good afternoon.